I was trying to avoid everyone so I wouldn't get them sick. But anyway, she came with Meet Me at the Moon and also Two Tall Houses, and the next one up will probably be called Whoosh. And I just absolutely fell in love with these teeny weeny little book dummies that Gianna has submitted. So I want Gianna to talk more about it. So here she is.
This is my first ALA, and I'm so excited to be here. And I actually wrote down what I was going to say, because if I get a microphone, I might just start singing or... No, it's not. So I'm going to read you a little story. Thank you, Tracy.
Sure.
So there's many stories I would love to tell you that directly or indirectly influenced Meet Me at the Moon and Two Tall Houses. Like the story of the injured chick I stole from the Randall Science Museum when I was 9 years old, so it would not be fed to pythons. Or how I built a rabbit hutch, a chicken coop, and a duck pond in my backyard in San Francisco when I was 10. Or my mother's early influence, that by the age of 12 she had already enrolled me in, count these things, piano, flute, cello, violin, painting, ceramics, filmmaking, drawing, sculpture, horseback riding, tap dance, and ballet. See why I want to sing? Or later, my travels over Africa, which influenced Meet Me at the Moon. I had a small backpack with a sketchbook, a camera, and 2 pairs of underwear, seriously. Or while in Kenya studying elephants, sleeping on cow skins over chirping scorpions. Or the bribe money given to the gun-wielding tribes in southern Ethiopia so I could sketch the zebra in peace. Or the bomb that went off in the hotel next to me in Addis Ababa in the middle of the night. Or how I used the things around me, my dog, my horse, and my friends, to capture the expressions of the characters in my stories. And then later, the week spent developing a meticulous color palette for each illustration. Or the story that led me on the first warm day of spring, sorry Tracy, just 2 weeks before the final art was due for Meet Me at the Moon, onto my rooftop to sweep the leaves from my gutters, which led to, I don't want to call Tracy and tell her I just fell off my ladder, broke my right elbow, and I can't wrap my fingers around a paintbrush. And I just told Tracy next week I'm painting my house myself.
I don't want to hear about it.
But the story I really want to share with you now is how I discovered the real meaning of Meet Me at the Moon. This is the first dummy of Meet Me at the Moon, which I'll leave up here to go and look at. It's completely different. Nobody steal it. So I made this first dummy after a phone call from my mother a few years ago. I was out of town and she called to tell me that her unrelenting cough was getting worse, and she'd made a doctor's appointment for the following day. Looking back now on that conversation, I think she already knew what was going to happen. And perhaps with our mother-daughter connection, I had some idea too. For that night, I dreamed a little story called Meet Me at the Moon. This first draft of Meet Me at the Moon is a very different story from what it is today. In my dream, this is really sad, I'm warning you, in the first layout, a baby elephant is recalling its past to its mother, asking if she remembers all the things they used to do together, and especially how they shared the love of the moon. But the baby elephant is kidnapped by poachers and separated from its mother. While trapped, the baby has many questions, finally asking, remember when the sky touched the earth, Mama, and you promised to always meet me at the moon? In my dream, the baby eventually escapes his captors and searches first for the moon and then for his mother. The mama elephant had no voice in this first story. She was only seen in the illustrations as the baby recalled their days together. But by story's end, the baby is an adult, and when he finally finds the moon, the mother meeting him there is just a shadow. Sad, huh? I wrote this story down after my dream, and a few days later learned that my mother had terminal cancer. She would only live 8 more weeks. I scribbled little drawings of the story over the next 2 months, focusing on the sadness of the baby, his fear of separation, and the deep loss he was feeling. But the last weeks of my mother's life brought a profound change to the meaning of Meet Me at the Moon. While my mother's life had been filled with literature, philosophy, poetry, and art, she now wanted nothing more than to hold her dear friend's hands and look into their eyes. What mattered most for her at the end of it all was connection. I too felt a deeper connection to her than ever before. Feeling this connection let me tell a different story. I did not want to write a story about loss and death, but instead a story of comfort and the eternal connection between a mother and a child. And so in the next version of Meet Me at the Moon, I took away the early kidnapping scene and answered little one's questions with Mama's comforting words. Mama tells little one that she must, leave and climb the highest mountain to ask the skies for rain. What if I can't hear you, Mama, little one asks. Listen for my sound on the wind, she answers, I will sing to you. But Mama, I won't be able to see you, little one says. If we both look at the same star, it will be as if we are seeing each other. That's the illustration for that one. And when little one asks, Mama, how will you find me again? Mama says, meet me at the moon where the sky touches the earth. Throughout the story, Mama and little one now have a special calling song that helps them stay connected and find each other at the end. My mother never saw the final version of Meet Me at the Moon, but she did leave something behind to complete the story. As Meet Me at the Moon was being developed after my mother's passing, Tracy asked me to think about what the calling song actually was. What were the words? But I wasn't exactly sure what this song was. It was only ever called the calling song. I was having trouble articulating what a mother would sing to her child now that my own mother was gone. I jotted down some ideas of what they might sing to each other to show their love and connection, but nothing worked. I was sitting at my desk one day struggling with this when I saw the Post-it taped to my computer. This tiny piece of paper was one of the notes my mother left hidden in her house, knowing I would find it one day. It had been right in front of me for months now and had given me comfort, but in a way I had not truly seen it. Yet the little note was right there, ready to speak to me every day. It was likely her last written message to me, and when I read it that day, I knew it was the perfect calling song for Mama and little one. The little yellow Post-it sang, "You are in my most secret heart." And that's the last line of the book. Thank you.